What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Tanner, and today we're going to talk about my big plans for our family farm in Puerto Rico. So, last video I said I was going to do a two-part series, but today I think I'm just going to cover everything in this one video right here so you guys can get it all. We'll dive deep into it and tell you exactly what I'd like to do in the, coming up in the next few years here. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I know a lot of you guys came from my brother's live stream or my brother's most recent video. So if you watched my last video, then you know I'm going to be making this video. And if you didn't know I'm making this video, well, I'm making this video. So you know what's going on. Alright? What are my plans? It's been 3 years since we bought the farm. I came back to Texas just shortly after we bought the farm. I was dating this girl. And about a year later, we ended up having a baby, and he's 2 years old now. He is the absolute light of my life, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. But it put a damper on my plans of building a house in Puerto Rico, and that's okay, because 3 years later, we're finally getting back into it. And to answer the burning question that everybody wants to know, yes, I am planning on building a house in Puerto Rico. I haven't decided yet if I'm going totally off grid, if we're going to be connected to the grid. It would be pretty hard to get electricity down to where I'm going to build because something just happened. We lost power. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get electricity down to where I want to build. It's pretty long ways down into our property. So I'll probably go totally off grid with solar and everything, but let's get into what are the beginning stages, what am I doing now. So when we bought the farm, it's 5 acres. We bought it knowing there's a public road going right through the center of our farm, the Camino de Publico, right? It's paved up to a certain point where our property line starts, and what we're going to do in the next month here before I get there is we're gonna get some heavy machinery and we're gonna clear some of the public road, and then we're gonna clear down into the farm into this large flat spot we have, several acres, and we're gonna clear about an acre of land, and we're gonna stake out our house sites for me and my dad. We both plan on building in the same area on the farm. So that's step one, is to kind of clear some of the public road, clear down and clear out about an acre site, which we plan on putting 2 houses on. So once that's done, we're gonna kind of establish some borders, and we're going to regrade everything, and then we're gonna come in and we're gonna dig footers out and lay rebar and pour footers. So once I get the footers poured, back in the States here, meanwhile, I'm going to have a shipping container dropped off here at my house, and I'm going to start buying ICF blocking. I'm going to do an ICF block house, and I'm not going to get into the meat and gravy of what an ICF block house is. If you guys are interested, go look it up, but it's going to be totally hurricane proof, tornado proof, freaking mudslide proof, earthquake proof. It's going to be a solid house. So I'm going to get all my ICF blocking here. I'm going to get all my pressure treated wood here. I'm going to get all my plumbing and all my electrical stuff here because it's just easier to get here. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. So I can get all those parts and pieces here, no problem. And I'm even thinking about getting windows and doors here, but I've been talking to my brother. He's building an addition right now. And he said that the window and door company that he used is really good, and he used them last time he got windows and doors too, and they've been great every time. They can get you exact sizes that you need because they're custom built, and they're reasonably priced. So I may get windows and doors there, but definitely rebar is available there, and definitely concrete is available there, so I won't be taking any of that stuff. And then you have to keep in mind too that we're building 2 houses, so it's going to be ICF blocking for 2 houses, wood for 2 houses, plumbing and electrical for 2 houses, possibly windows and doors, and whatever else we need is going to go in this container that we plan on shipping over. So once the container gets there, we're going to we're leasing this place, so we're probably gonna, after the lease is up in, I think, January, February, in March, we're gonna go month to month. So once our container gets there and our materials are on site, we're gonna kind of be like in the process of packing. A lot of our stuff will be in the container, and it'll just be like our clothes and stuff that we're gonna take, and we're gonna get on a plane, fly there, and we're essentially gonna move to Puerto Rico for an extended period of time, probably at least a year, because that's how long I project it's gonna take to build the house once I get the footers poured. I'm hoping to have, the footers dug and the footers poured and everything ready to go by the time I get there. That's the goal anyway. So that's putting in a lot of, not really a lot into my brother's hands, because I'm going to be going back and forth to delegate and make sure these things are getting done the way I want them to. But the concrete work and pouring the footers, I don't necessarily need to be there for it, because I can at least trust that these guys can pour footers. So like I said, once the footers get poured, shipping container's gonna get there, we're gonna get there. I plan on building basically the whole house myself. I'm gonna do plumbing, all the electrical. I'm gonna build the ICF wall myself, and then we'll have a concrete truck come pour concrete in the center of the ICF wall, and from there, the only thing I might sub out is like the stucco finish on the outside and the inside. I don't know if I want to do that myself, because it takes a lot to get that stuff like nice and smooth and perfect. So that may be one other thing that I sub out, is the stucco work. But other than that, I plan on doing the whole build myself, including the roof. I'm going to do engineered trusses that are going to be laid in, and so the roof is going to be at an angle, but it's going to be flat, and it's going to be standing seam metal. That's plan on strapping it down every 6 inches with a fascia that's going to be screwed down every 6 inches. It should be hurricane proof, but again, if we lose a roof in a hurricane, it wouldn't be the biggest deal to just replace a roof, and it's much cheaper than pouring a concrete roof. So that's the plan for the roof, and for the walls, all ICF blocking. And the first thing is going to be to get the walls up, get the walls poured, pour the slab, and then put the roof on. And basically we'll have an empty shell, which we can start building out with. I plan on using wood to build out the inside, which shouldn't be a big deal at all. I don't see anything wrong with building the inside out with wood and putting up regular sheetrock and having air conditioning, and basically all the amenities that you would have in a nice house. The house is going to be roughly anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 square foot. I haven't decided if I'm going to do like a 40 by 20 or what exactly I'm going to do yet. Or 40 by 20 would be 800 square foot. But anyways, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but it's basically just going to be a rectangle with a pitched roof and lots of windows. So it'll be nice. The views will be nice. We'll have a balcony coming off where we can go out, stare right down to the ocean, and it's going to be beautiful. So it'll be small. It'll be on the smaller side, but it'll be custom. It's not going to cost me more than probably $30,000 to $40,000 to build it. That's all the material, concrete, and everything. So it's really, you can't beat it. And then the other thing is electricity. So probably being that, like I said, the electricity is at the top of the property, it'd be quite the task to get it down to where it needs to go. But with that being said, I'm just thinking right now to myself, the public road comes down and it's paved up into our property line, and there's houses, because people own some of that land, and they have electricity. So I don't see why we couldn't get another pole set at our property line, and then get another pole set where the houses are gonna go, because it's not that far and it's fairly flat right there. So something to think about. Maybe we can get another drop of electricity. But either way, I want to have solar as a backup because you can't always rely on the grid sometimes. So, and as far as the septic goes, there will be septic. Somebody's gonna have to dig the septic and probably pour the septic, or we'll get like a plastic 1,000 gallon. They make 1,000 gallon plastic septic tank. And it's not plastic, but it's meant for the purpose, right? So we'll probably do something like that with an irrigated system like I have at this house. I think they call it an aerobic system, where I have a sprinkler head in the front and the back, and every day at like 10 o'clock they go off, and I pour bleach in the system, so it's supposed to be sterile. And we'll probably do something like that. So, do I plan on living there full time? Well, once we get the house built, we definitely plan on living there for a while. You guys, you're gonna learn something new about me, and I'm kind of nomadic, where I like to move around. I don't like to be in one spot for too long. So, ultimate goal in life, and I'm still young, but ultimate goal in life is to have a property in like Utah, and have a property here in Texas, and have a property in Puerto Rico, and maybe one other place, Oregon, or maybe somewhere on the East Coast. And I ultimately would like to just kind of spend my year moving around. Obviously, my home base is in Texas, where I'm a master electrician for a company, which we'll get into that more when the time comes, but I will remain the master of record and still get compensated. So that'll be for another video though. And so ultimately home base would be Texas, but I'd like to kind of spend my year moving around, going to Puerto Rico, going wherever I want to go. So I hope that answers all your questions, guys. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments down there. I make mostly videos about electricity now, so that's my main focus. It seems to bring in the viewers, but I'm still going to make videos about Puerto Rico. Like I said, we're going to Puerto Rico in November, and I plan on bringing you guys some vlogs from that, so definitely look forward to it. You will most likely see some of our land cleared, hopefully like a full acre of it cleared, which would just be totally stellar. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. Until next time, stay cool. Peace.